Hello friends, I'm Kelly Pullum, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! In Canada. I'm also known as Craftin' Granny. I want to help you enjoy creativity through paper crafting so that you can wow your family and friends with handmade projects. Tonight I'm doing a buy and try video. That means some of my customers will have already purchased the stamp set to make these products and be crafting along with me or watching and crafting later. Others maybe are just watching, and that's also awesome. You can watch now, watch later, it's all good. If you are watching the video, please say hello. I see you there, Catherine. Hi. I hope that you'll let me know that you're watching. Hi, Claire. Welcome. And if you would be so kind as to share the video, that would also be awesome for me. I'm working on building up the people who are seeing my videos and building my business, and so I appreciate it if you can share the video. Also, I wanted to let you know that I have a new YouTube channel. So far I've been posting the videos of my Facebook Live replays on the YouTube channel after I do them. So the YouTube channel is Kelly Pullum 8925. I believe I've got it. Hi, Nancy. Anyway, now I've got it wrong. I think I put it in the description. I hope I did. Anyway, I think it's maybe Craftin' Granny 8925. Anyway, I would love it if you would check that out. I'm going to be doing a new video on there. Hopefully this week. It'll be my first video done directly to YouTube. So I would love to have some of you check that out for me. Anyway, just before we get started, I want to review the things that I have coming up. So tonight I've got this class. I do have a couple extra kits available if anyone would like to purchase them. They're available free with a $60 order in my online store, but you pay the shipping because I'm never sure just exactly how much that's going to be to go to different parts of Canada. So I do ask that the customer pays the shipping. Then I want to mention that I have a card class on February 23rd. We're featuring the Cup of Tea bundle, and I've got some beautiful cards designed for that. February 18th, I have a crop happening here in my home from 10 until 4. The cost is $20, lunch is included. Then I have March 23rd, a class. We'll be making 2 cards. The cost is $8, and those will be Easter themed. And then March 26th, I have a crop, and the cost of that is $10. It's from 12:30 to 4:30 p.m. So I think I've covered all of the details. Anyway, oh, and this next month, my videos, my Tuesday videos, will be featuring the Friendly Gnomes bundle, and I have had a blast with it, folks. So if you're wanting to do something with that stamp set, it really is a lot of fun, and I would highly recommend it to you. Anyway, so that is coming up. All right, now let me switch over here to the desktop view. Here we go. Oh, get this out of the way. And just get back so that I can see your comments. Excellent. Okay, so here is the first card that we're going to make tonight. It's a cute little card with this topsy-turvy kitty, and so we're going to use that Love Cats stamp set to create it. And if you have purchased a kit, it will look like this. So we're going to pull out the materials in the kit. All right, and we're just going to fold and burnish here. Oh, I did get this over here. I tried to get everything over here so that I don't have to keep turning around on you tonight. Anyway, so next we're going to put on our Blushing Bride cardstock. I'm going to probably have to run and maybe get some more tape runner. Looks like I might be on my last bit here. That I did not anticipate. Here we go. And then this is the the Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper. Yeah, I am. It's just ended. Okay, 1 second. Sorry about that, folks. A demonstrator that I know says when this happens, now you get to see how you change the refill. So here we go. This is how the refill comes. And you'll see there are some words along the bottom here. So you just pop this open and this one comes out. And the words go in here with the words facing you. And they're along the bottom of the case here. Then you close that up. Easy peasy. All right, so let's just get that started and I can carry on here. Okay, so this, I was saying, this is the Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper, which was featured in the December, like the July to December catalog, and I loved it. I purchased a whole pack and then ended up not using it for the class that I was planning to. So then I thought when I was going to do this, I thought since I love gingham so much, this was a good one to use it with. So here we go. So now we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to set the card base and my ribbon aside. I'm going to keep this piece, my circle, and the piece for inside the card. Okay, so I'm using my Stamparatus tonight. If you do not have a Stamparatus, you can still do this, but when you stamp with your Memento, you'll find that your ink is not quite as dark maybe as mine. And that is okay. You'll just want to make sure that you do them all the same, so that if you're just stamping once, make sure you ink it well, and then just stamp once, and then your sentiments and everything do the same way. Just for the sake of being consistent. So I'm using this Topsy Turvy Kitty here for this card, and I'm also using the Head Over Heels About You and the Hi There Valentine sentiments. This can go under here. All right. So starting with my insert, I'm just going to position that here. And my little kitty is going to go down here. I just keep checking my card to make sure I'm doing this right. Oh, nope, I had it coming off the side on this side. There we go. So to do this, I have it coming just ever so slightly off the edge. Okay, there we are. And then I've got Head Over Heels About You up here. And I'm going to stamp this all with Blushing Bride. And I'm hoping my ink pad is juicy enough, but if not, I'll just stamp it a couple times. Yeah, I think I need to do it again. There we go. That's pretty good. I can see by the face of it that I should have inked it probably before the video, but it never is good to ink it right while you're using it, because when you do that, often it gets blotchy. So we'll just leave it like that. And I need my chamois. Now, if you're using a Stamparatus, make sure you clean it before you take it off of there. Always works better that way. You get less ink on your fingers. Now we're going to take our scalloped piece here, and we're going to put the Hi There Valentine on that. Then we're going to put our circle and put our kitty on there. You want your kitty in the center, but it doesn't matter really like direction because it's a circle, folks. It's going to turn any which way. So here we are. I don't know what your days have been like. I had a lazy day, I admit. I ended up having a nap this afternoon. But I thought tonight's video might go long. Well, it will go longer than usual with 6 cards. So I figured I could use a little extra rest. And with it as cold as it was outside, it just seemed like a good idea. Here we go. So there is my sentiment and my kitty for the front. Bring my chamois back in. I also prepared myself a nice hot drink tonight before I started because I thought I'll be doing lots of talking as well. So I've got a nice hot gingerbread tea latte here in case my throat gets too dry. Okay, so I'll bring the card base back in here in front of us. I've got my Blushing Bride scalloped circle here. Just going to put a good amount of adhesive on the back of that circle. Center it here. And this is going to be popped up with dimensionals. I did get those out. Here they are. And I generally like 3 underneath a circle, just kind of the triangle to give it support. There. Can't quite reach my garbage pail, so I'll just have to make a little pile here. So this is going up here. And then I've got my Valentine piece. Now this one I'm going to do down flat. Here. And now for the bow. Now if you bought a kit from me, I tied the bow for you just because I didn't want anybody frustrated. It is a double bow that I'm doing this time. So I'm holding between my thumb and my 3rd finger. I'm going under my pointer finger, under the 3rd finger again, then over the pointer finger. Okay. Now I'm bringing this long piece up and through my 2 fingers and then coming, making sure this is twisted nicely, then coming from left and right under there. Now you need to keep that last loop on your finger there while you pull. And pull nice and tight. Then when you remove your fingers, you've got the 2 pieces to your bow. And this is so pretty. Just love it. Now when I finish my bows, I usually have a look and say, okay, which side do I like the best? I think I like this side the best. So I'm going to take that, and that is going to get fastened down here on the corner. Now I wish I did this the opposite of what I should have done. I should have put the sentiment up higher because now my bow is going to have to come kind of sideways here to fit on there. But I can put it over here at the side and it'll be all right. So I need my glue dots, which I've lost. Here we are. I was crafting this afternoon, so I forgot to put them away. Here we go. So I'm just going to put that up here on the side, adhere the bow, and then trim my tails. Got my handy dandy ribbon scissors here. And I don't worry too much about going over the edge of the card. I always figure you can tuck these ends in when you do your card. So now I've got my piece to go inside here. And woohoo, that is card number 1. Beautiful. Okay, set that one aside. Catherine, are you crafting along tonight or are you crafting after? I'm just curious whether I need to go slow or whether you're doing it after the fact. If you have a second there to let me know, you can tell me. Okay. A bit of both, okay? Well, that's just fine. Okay, so next I'm going to do this card with the black and white and the blushing bride. And there are some itty bitty pieces in here, so be careful when you pour them out, because there's little hearts in there that we don't want to lose. Okay. And there's a piece of twine there. You can always go back and watch again. Okay, sounds good, because it will be a longer video with 6 cards and I don't want to drive people crazy. So here is some basic black cardstock for the base here. Then I've got this black and white check, and you can just turn it around and see which way looks best to you. I think I like it this way. That's going centered on the front here. Next we have this blushing bride. It was embossed with the Splatters embossing folder. And that is going down flat here. And I'm just trying to center that. Hopefully I'm getting it centered. Then I'm going to do my stamping on here. And I'm going to do some stamping on the inside. So on the inside, I'm just doing Valentine. So I'm not using the high there. I'm just going to do the Valentine, which means a little bit of masking, of course. So I'm going to need a bit of washi tape here, which I need to, oh, it is here in my pocket. That's good. So I'm going to cover up the high there part. But I'm going to actually do this on the Stamparatus because Memento is sometimes fairly light. And I don't want to have, like I want my sentiment to be dark enough. But if you have, you know, a nice new Memento ink pad, you probably don't need to worry about this. You can just do it on the front. But anyway, so I'm going to position this on my paper, trying to use my grid lines a little bit to help, hoping I've got it straight here. I have to have a look. Because I think the bottom of my stamp is straight, but my sticker is not perfectly straight. I shouldn't have put that tape on before I set it down. Okay, let's pick it up on here and see. Yes, that's lined up with, the bottom of the stamp is lined up with my line on here pretty well. So I think I'm good with that. So there, I've got this open. I'm going to bring my Memento in, ink this up, take this off and stamp. Now at this point, I think I can go a little darker, so I'm going to reapply my washi tape and ink again. Don't know if you even realized you could do that with your Stamparatus when you're double stamping and masking. So look at that, eh? Pretty cool. And that is much better. So I'm happy with that. Get my little chamois here. Take this off. Now, I'm going to put some of my little hearts on here in a minute, but in the meantime, I'm going to pull this piece in, and I need which cat did I use this time? The same one, the upside down kitty. So she's going down here, about halfway down. There's room here to put my my magnet. There we go. I'm just making sure I'm straight on my grid lines. There we go. And then I've got Head Over Heels About You, which is going to go directly above here. And there's room for my magnet at the top. Okay. Now again, if you're not using the Stamparatus, that's fine. Just be aware that your stamps might not be as dark as they would be if you can stamp it a couple of times, right? Now with Memento, it is worth mentioning that you can push a lot harder than you can with our other ink pads, because Memento is, I think it's like a linen or something, the base of it. It's not soft foam like the others. So it does work a little bit differently. And when I put my stamp on here, I'm giving some gentle pressure, but I'm not way down on there, right? Because if you do have ink on the outside, it is possible to get it to come off on your paper where you don't want it. So it looks like I got a little bit of a line there, so I better be careful when I'm inking up this time, making sure that I don't end up with a line across my kitty. Although if I do, I just stamp it again. It's all fine. We will manage here. There we go. Yes, okay. I can see the line a little bit, so I'm going to go one more time. There we go. Good. All right, chamois again. Now, when you stamp multiple times with your Memento ink, be aware that it may still be a little wet. Usually we have no trouble with that when we're stamping, but when you do multiple stamping over the same spot with your ink, that can happen. So you may want to just be a little bit careful about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by decorating this inside piece, and then I'm going to come back and decorate the front. So this inside piece, I'm going to use the hollow heart and the two small hearts here. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue. If you have tweezers, this is a good time to use those. You can pick up your little heart here. Or did I do? No, I did not do a backing on here. I couldn't remember if I did. Got to get the glue coming out here first. There we go. Just get a little dab and then spread it around. Don't need a whole lot. It's very strong, so you don't need a ton. So then I'm going to just go ahead. I'm placing this on the right side of the word here. And then for this part, I'm just going to use my little take your pick tool. Pick this up. Put a little dot of glue down here. Set this down on top. And then pick it up. There we go. And the last one is just going to go down here a little bit. Tiny dot of glue. And let's see, just tilt that a little more on an angle, and there we go. So we've got our nice little hearts there. This can now go inside. Now I'm going to pop this up on the front, this piece, with dimensionals again. I think I have one lonely piece left over here. I do. One lonely little hexagon, which I'll put in the middle here. And there we go. So that is going in the center here. And then we have a little heart here. So this is just going to go on the top here. And then my little bow again. So this time I'm just doing a single bow, so between the thumb and the third finger, poke your loop through. If I didn't have glue on my fingers, it would be easier. Okay, this loop over my thumb is where I'm going to go underneath. So under from left to right, keeping that loop. It transfers from my thumb to that third finger there. And there we go. Once you've done that, you can adjust the size of your loop as you need. So I can make that side a little smaller if I want. And then pull that down to make this a little smaller. Okay. I am having trouble with this twisting on me here tonight. But once I get it down flat on the card, I think that will be easier. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. There we go. That looks good. So now I need a glue dot. And this little glue dot I'm actually going to kind of roll up, because I want this to go kind of like it's a collar on the kitty. So I'm going to stick this down here. Sure I am. It will not stick down there for some reason. There, now it's on there. And then this is going to go down over top. There we go. Now it's sticking down there. Okay. And we've got our tails here, which I will trim. This little guy does not want to lay flat tonight. Sometimes I can help a little bit by, yes, by how I get it into the glue dot there. So by twisting the glue dot and getting that so that part of the loop is in that dot, I was able to make that lay flat. So there you go. So that is that Valentine card. That's number 2. Okay. Number 3. Here we go. So this card has a basic white card base. It's basic white and real red. I'm just going to burnish that. And this is this one. Okay, so you can kind of see where we're going with it. Now, we're going to set this up here. We've got 3 pieces here that are going to go on the front. So actually we've got 5, because we've got this piece, and we've got this piece, and we've got this piece. And in between, there's room for these 2 little 1/8 of an inch strips to go across. Now, if you find that too fiddly, you can just glue these down and leave the 1/8 of an inch bits out. But I just kind of liked it with them in there. Okay, so I'll show you how I did it. I'm going to take this piece, put some liquid glue on here so that I can wiggle it into place a little bit. So I'm looking here for an equal border at the top, the sides, and the border at the bottom. Okay, and I've got this little piece, which is going in here. Hopefully I haven't done, I'm checking right now to make sure I haven't done it too low. Nope, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, so now I can put, but this side is a little higher, so you want to kind of check that. I'm just working it down a little bit there. Okay, so now I'm going to just do a tiny bit of glue across here. And this is going on top. I'm sharing the craft space tonight with my doggo, and she is stinky. So if I keel over in a faint, you'll all know why. Life with pets. Oh my goodness. All right, so here we go. Here's our real red piece in the center. Another little piece of white. Okay. Yes, her paw is better, Nancy. It's not, we haven't had any more trouble with bleeding, and she did not lose the nail. The pad of her foot wasn't cut. It was just, I think she caught the nail on something outside. Maybe she was scratching and the ground was frozen. Anyway, so she was bleeding and gave us quite a start. But she's much better now. I think I might even be able to walk her tomorrow. I've been avoiding that so that I didn't aggravate the paw. But we'll see how it goes. All right, so there we go. There's our last piece on the front. Okay, now we've got our 3 little jemmies here. These are going to go tic-tac-toe in a row up here. The size of your enamel dots here may be different. Some of them are small, some of them are large. Just to kind of use up the pack here. That's what I had. So this card has the small dots and this card has the large dots, and I don't know which one you've got. Now we've got this piece of ribbon. This is going to go across here, leaving a little bit below. So you want a little bit of red there. Now I cut lots of extra, like you've got extra here, because I thought it might fray in getting the kit to you. So you can kind of just get rid of that fraying bit. Now it's going to just keep fraying on me. I'm even using my ribbon scissors, which are sharper. But once you get some glue under it, it'll be less of a problem. So I'm going to measure across, and then I'm going to cut. Okay, and then I can apply this. I did seem to get it, well, it's pretty straight, I guess. All right, so I'm going to use, usually I use glue dots. I think I'm going to use glue dots for this because usually I find glue dots work the best with ribbon. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these on the ends here. And as I said, that'll help to prevent fraying of the ribbon. At each end. And one in the middle just to hold everything in place. There we go. So then this is going down, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch from the top there. About 1/4, or from the bottom rather, about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Got a little bit of fraying, so I'm going to come in and just trim that off of there. Okay, and we're all set. Now we've got this piece here, so I'm going to stamp Hi There Valentine on that. And this is going to be done in the real red. There we go. Chamois again. And now we have here, we've got 2 pieces left. We've got a scrap of white, which we're going to stamp our kitty on. And this time we're using the Laying Down Kitty. Whoops, there I go. So you want to get the kitty completely on the paper. The hearts do not matter because we're going to cut the kitty out. Yes, I know. Cutting kitties out, that's tricky. Oh, I better get this magnet on here somewhere, hadn't I? There we go. That's fine. All right, so now my Memento ink. Let's get this underneath here. Trying to make sure that I don't get lines like I did earlier. There we go. So this is what you would get if you just stamp once. There I've got twice. I think twice is enough. I was going to do 3, but I think twice is enough. There we go. here. Okay, now for cutting out the kitty, remember you do not need the hearts. So I'm going to just come in here and leaving a little bit of a white border around, trying to be even, but you know what? It's not the end of the world if it's not perfectly even. I'm including that little line here, coming up around the back of the kitty. My left hand is doing most of the turning. The right hand is just working the scissors here, but the scissors are not doing all the turning. The left hand is doing the turning of the paper. The scissors just do a little bit. Okay. Now when I got to the whiskers, I decided not to be so fussy about cutting around them. So I just did a little in and out thing here. And then back out to my straight piece. And the bottom is the easier part. Now if you're thinking, oh no, fussy cutting, and you bought this kit, I believe this is the only card that uses any fussy cutting. I tried to avoid it for your sakes, but this was just too cute not to do it this way. And I don't mind a little fussy cutting, I'll be honest. I don't mind it at all. There we are. So now my adorable little kitty is going to go right here on top of this ribbon. So it's going to have some dimensionals on the back. So it can have a full one here, although most of it I think is easier with minis. And I know I've got some out here. Here we go. Do a mini at the head. And then I'm going to cut a tiny little bit, just a tiny little bit, for down here by its tail. This is optional, but I did think it helped to give it a little support down there underneath the ribbon. So when I get my kitty on top here, this little bit has a bit of support there. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals for this scalloped oval. And here we go. Now inside our card, we're going to do this. And this might seem tricky to you. That's what I forgot. I forgot my marker. But I'm going to use a marker, and I'm going to use or a black, just a black ballpoint pen will work. Either one, okay? And what you're going to do, first you're going to stamp your cat in a straight line. So I'm going to get my Stamparatus here, because that's what I've been using. Get this on here in a nice straight line. I don't need that ribbon. I'm going to get my kitty on here now. It's going to be on the left side, and I'm just going to follow that grid line with my eye to try to get it straight. Okay. Pick this up. ink and stamp. There's one. There's two. Now I'm going to get my marker or pen, whatever you've got. Just going to see if I've got a black pen here tonight, or if that's blue. That's blue. Okay. I'm going to use my Stampin' Write marker since I've got I've got blue pens. So we're going to bring a ruler in here, and we're just going to take it and put it along that line. Okay? And we're just going to take that line and extend it out. Just like that. Okay? So that was easy. And now we've got our final sentiment. Clean this off here. My chamois is definitely getting dry, which is not helpful. Okay. I better put it back in the case, that would help. And this time we have, I love hanging out with you. So that's the sentiment I've not used yet here. And it's going to go down here. And I'm going to do that with the red. To coordinate with the card front here. There we are. So that was pretty easy, wasn't it? Not too hard at all. Okay. I do think these cards are just adorable. And although I've used Valentine sentiments, honestly, you could take these. You could do a happy birthday on the front for somebody who loves kitties. You know, just how about a hi there? Lots of different things you could put. These do not have to be Valentine cards. I went with kind of the Valentine theme because that's what the sentiments were that came with this stamp set. But if you have other sentiments in your stash, the sky is the limit as far as what you can do with these. Okay, so now I have this card. So this one is a little bit trickier. I'm going to pull this out. We've got lots of little pieces here. There are two ways of doing this. So one way of doing it, first of all, I'm going to take this and fold. You actually have extra pieces here, so do not be alarmed when you finish this card if you have pieces that you didn't use. So I'm not using this piece, I just sent it because you're not going to use these pieces. And I thought, well, who knows? You might get creative and want to take these pieces and do a card design of your own. Okay? So those pieces are excess. Now, this is going to go on the card front. Let me find the sample card to show you. So this is going to go on the card front. You'll notice this piece is going to get covered up. So we're not doing anything with this one up here. Okay? We are going to stamp on the white circles here for the rest of them. But if you find you do not want to stamp the hearts because it involved a lot of masking, I'm going to show you with one how to do it. And then if you don't want to do all the masking, you can just use these little hearts and glue some of these little hearts inside here in whatever arrangement you like. And now of course my fingers are it's too hard to make them move around. Anyway, so you can do it either way. Patience, Kelly. There. And here. Okay, so you can choose to do them with this, or you can choose to stamp them. So you have a choice about this depending on how you feel about the stamping. It looks like I cut this one the wrong size. Ooh, that could be interesting. Yeah, I cut the wrong piece. So if your piece does not cover the whole thing, let me know. I will have to send you a bigger piece. Okay, I'm going to have to cut a bigger piece. One moment. There we go. Okay, this is better. All right, so we're having Hi There Valentine on here in black. Let's do that first. And I think actually, no, I'm going to carry on with this. I've been using the Stamparatus all night. I'm going to carry on with it. Here we go. So this is going on here. Got to hold my tongue right here. Hopefully, hopefully you don't see that part on the camera. Me trying to get my tongue in the right spot. There we go. And that is done. Now, okay, we're going to take our different kitties and we're going to do them on circles here to match this card. So we've got two of these circles, which I believe are the same size, and one larger circle. And so the larger circle is going to be the kitty that's still in here, but the smaller circles are going to be these guys. So I'm going to take this, I'm just going to hold this down kind of by a hair on there. Pick up the kitty. And here we go. And stamp a couple times to get it a little darker. And there we are. That's kitty number 1. Now, we'll clean this up. How's everybody doing? Which is your favorite kitty? Do you have a favorite one from the stamp set? Okay, so the next one is this little guy. We can put that in place to help hold it. And the hearts are not going to come in, so I'm going to leave those hearts off the side there. And for this one, you really don't need to ink the whole cat, so I'm not worrying about the tail. There we go. That's number 2. And there. And now we need our last kitty, which is still inside here. Just have that, we want that kitty head and the heart on there. Okay, we want the kitty head and the heart. So I'm just going to hold that in place again just a little wee bit with my magnet. You like the one that's dangling. Oh, with a heart from its tail. Okay. So that's the one, yeah, the one that's topsy-turvy, eh? Okay. Nancy likes the lying down kitty best. Okay. Well, this card is the best of all worlds because it has all the kitties on it. Okay. My poor chamois just about dry. I did not anticipate that as a part of this video. I thought my throat might get dry, but I didn't think about that. Okay, so now we're going to do the hearts on here. So as I said, there's 2 ways of doing it. You can do it with these, or you can do it with the hearts from the kitty. So I'm going to do one for you, showing you how to do it with the stamping. I'm going to do it on a block because I'm just going to do it, I think, once with the real red ink here. And then you need to do some masking. So you're going to mask the hearts off because you just want ink on the hearts. And this is how I did it when I did the first one. I used lots of washi tape here, and I covered this all up. I don't want that part. That's covering up part of the heart. I've got to push that down there. Okay. So now I've got this all masked. You can get this out and ink up those hearts without getting everything else. Okay. Take your washi tape off. Now I've done mine kind of crisscrossed so that it'll all come off in one piece. so that if you need to kind of use it again, you can. Okay, and then you want to position the hearts. Now this is why this is the trickier part, because you want to position the hearts onto the circle, and that is a little bit harder when you can't see exactly where you're stamping. So my tip is to make sure you get up fairly high. You want this heart to be very close to the top in order to fit everything on nicely, if you choose to do it that way. That's what I did for the first one, the sample card. So this one I'm going to try using the little die cut hearts instead. So here's the sample card with the stamped hearts. This one, I'm going to use the die cuts, and I'll only need 2 of the... Do you know what? Now I think I'm missing a red heart. Wouldn't you know? I see 3 there. We'll see if it turns... Oh, there's more. I think, yes, I did try to give you an extra one, so if you lose one, you're not sunk. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get this on here with dimensionals. And I think I'm just going to use a few little bits on the sides just because. So one in here, and maybe here. Excuse me. Okay. There we go. So this is going to be centered here on the front. Nope, not getting it straight. Oh, it's not too bad. This needs to come down just a bit. I did not have this much trouble the first time, but hopefully, there we go. Now we're all right. Okay, so let's put our kitties in first. So I'm going to put some adhesive in here, and in here, and in here. We've got kitty number 1 in there. And the liquid glue, again, is helpful because you can wiggle it into where you want it so that it looks nice and centered. Lost one of my pieces. Here he is. This little guy. And then I'm going to do these pieces. Actually, I could do this one next. I can cut that off. So what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to just mark it like so. Then I'm going to put that on my trimmer, because I don't cut straight without my trimmer. But now that I've marked which little dot I need to cut through there, that's easy. And for this purpose, I'm going to put a little adhesive on the side and another dimensional in the center of the circle. And that will go right over top and cover. Okay, now for my little hearts, you can do this with glue dots or with just little bits of liquid glue, which I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little dab here. Put a heart on top. Little bitty dab. Put a heart on top. Another little bitty dab. And a heart on top. And there's one. Repeat that for the second one. Here we go. Oops. Try again. I think I got that one upside down, but I think it's all good. And there we go. Okay, so now again I can just put these guys inside. There. A little bit of Ziva fur. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I can see it on the card. There we go. Get rid of that. All right. Now inside the card, I did the same thing as the last time, only this time I just did a dotted line with my cat. So let's try that again. So I've got my Stamparatus here. I'm going closer to the bottom this time. Oh, I forgot. I got to use my separate paper because I always give you an extra piece so you don't have to worry about doing it right on the card. So I need my stamp, which I've lost. Here it is. And I think I did, let me just check. I think I did, the tail came off the end here. So that's okay. So again, I'm going to line up here with my grid paper. Pick this up. Hi Tracy, you made it. You made it. We're still working here. We're on card number, this is 4. We have 2 more left. So we're almost done number 4. There we go. There we go. So now we're going to take our ruler and either a marker or a black pen, whatever you've got. We're going to line this up across. This time we're just going to do a dotted line just to keep life interesting. Make it look like stitching there. Okay? And this is now going inside our card. Now you will have an extra little heart with your kit, so if you didn't lose one, yes, Tracy, you will totally be able to watch the replay later. So if you didn't lose one of your little hearts that I sent you, you can pop it on top here and have one little red heart inside the card. And there you go. Okay. Now I am going to take just a second and show you a trick for if you want to do these hearts using the Stamparatus. Okay? So I'm just going to put this over here so it's easier to see. Ink up and stamp like so. So now I've got my hearts stamped on my grid paper. And if you want to stamp these using this, you can just put that down, ink up your hearts. Oh, I forgot to mask the kitty though. You still have to mask the kitty, because if you don't, you're going to get kitty on that circle as well. So, oops-a-daisy, Kelly. And I think my chamois is not wet enough to clean it all off. Let's see if I can get it. There. So then you just come down and stamp right where your hearts were, and you can get them centered on the circle that way. So if you want to do the stamping of the hearts instead of using the die cut hearts, you can do it either way. Hopefully that helps. Okay. 2 more cards, and they are using the So Saffron. So this guy, I'm going to just take this and burnish. Oh, by the way, Tracy, we discovered as I was doing this one that I die cut a smaller flagged piece. So if you do not have the right size, let me know and I can cut you the right size, okay? All right. So here we are. Now we are doing this card. Oh, looks like my bow is coming undone or something nasty here on me. So I better tie it again. There we go. Now this bow I could not tie for you ladies. You're going to have to do this one yourself because it wraps around the card. So you've got lots of twine because it wraps around this side as well. Okay? But let's do our stamping first. So we've got this piece, and we've got this piece, and then we've got this one. Okay. So we're going to set the others aside. Inside here, we're going to take our kitty and we're going to stamp just coming along inside like so. So with the Memento ink, I'm going to ink this guy up nicely, and here we go. And there's that one. the same with this. Get my kitty on here. And then I can position these, oopsie, so that it will hold things in place. Oh, I did it the wrong angle. I want it this way. Now I'm remembering. Okay, so I did it so that this is about 1/4 of an inch in from that angle. And then this side comes down. There. Now we'll pick up here and go inking away. There we go. And then we have our sentiment piece, and this one has "I love hanging out with you." And it just fits. So you have to get the L and the Y, that's what I was looking at there, so that they just fit inside. Here. Now, let's put this together. So we've got this one. This is our card base. We've got this guy going inside. And there we go. And we've got our extra pieces here. So we've got a yellow square. So the white one is going on a yellow piece. That's the So Saffron. Then the yellow So Saffron is going on a basic black piece. Then we've got some Designer Series paper with the So Saffron, and it's going on a black piece. And then we've got our sentiment here, and it's going on this black piece. Like so. Okay, now we can go ahead and do our DSP piece. It's going to go in here so that this edge and this edge are about the same. Actually, these three are about the same. Okay, and that's going down. Then we're going to put this piece, and I'm just checking. I did use dimensionals on this. I couldn't recall for sure. So, There we are. So the kitty is going up here and leaving about the same border at the top and the left side. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to do our tying here with the twine. So you should have, if you leave 6 inches and start here, and we're going to wrap around and come back to this spot, and you should end up with about 6 inches left. Okay, so we're going to take a little glue dot here, and I'm just going to put it underneath where the pieces are crossing here, and I'm going to press that down in to hold it in place. Okay, and then I can tie a knot. Okay, that didn't get all of it, but that's okay. There we go. Get that down in the glue. After you've tied your knot, you do want it to sit in the glue here, and mine's just a little off. I might put another glue dot under there just to make life easier. There we go. Another glue dot on top to help hold everything in place. So then I'm going to make my bow. So I'm just going to do, oh, I didn't get over far enough here, did I? I want to be over a little further, because this has to come on this side of it. So I do want it over a little further. Excuse me while I wiggle this over. That glue dot over a little further there. So that my knot ends up a little further over here. There we go. Now I can do my bow again. And I tried to leave you with a good amount of twine so that you're not, you know, desperately trying to tie a bow here with what's not enough twine. So you're going to need to trim the ends, but that's okay. Then we're going to take this, and this is just going to go up over top here. I'm just going to shift that up a little bit so that it fits better underneath my black piece here. And then what I did is I did dimensionals above and below here. So because I found this part doesn't stick particularly well, you can stick a glue dot on there. Why don't I do that? But you'll find that the whole thing tends to shift here if you just stick this on top with dimensionals on top of the twine. So by putting the dimensionals above and below the twine, it sticks a lot better. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some of my dimensional here, and I've already cut some of this, but I'm going to cut a little bit more along the side here. Just a skinny little bit, and then I can put it where the white part of my piece is here. Above and below where the twine will be. Then I can put this on top. and it will adhere nicely, so it's not going to come off of there. Okay. Just making my bow a little smaller here. I'm going to cut these little tail ends off, and you can twist it around a little bit, and again, adding another glue dot under there will help you get it to sit where you want it. Okay, so I'm going to just trim these, and then find another little glue dot. Here we are. And by just getting it in under here, I can shift this the way I want and get those little loops to go the way I want them to. Okay. If you find you have too much, like I see my glue is sticking out there, so I just take my pokey tool and poke it all back underneath. Anyway, I might just take that little bit right out. There we go. Okay. So there is card number 5. Oh, I forgot the rhinestones, didn't I? Here they are. Oops. One came off. So we've just got one. Actually, that should have been there. That's okay. I'll put it up here. And this one down here. Oh, right here by this tail. There. Okay. So there we are. Now, last card is the Fun Fold, and it is this card, and it stands up like so. Okay, so you can kind of see, hopefully, yeah, you can kind of see there how it goes. So we're going to stamp with 2 of the kitties this time. We'll get our pieces out here. And here is our base. So you've got 2 score lines on this base, one at 2 3/4 and one at 5 1/2. So you can score the 5 1/2 piece like you ordinarily would, then fold this piece and burnish there, and that's going to make your easel here. So you've got, this one is a little different because inside we're putting Designer Series paper. Now before you glue your Designer Series paper down, you want to make sure that your Designer Series paper is going to line up. These were cut intentionally so that they would line up, okay? So you want to make sure that you've got them going that direction so that when your easel card stands up, the DSP lines up all the way down, okay? So, we're going to take this first piece and adhere it inside the card base. Like so. And then this piece, going the same way, is going to go on the front near the bottom. Like so. Okay. Now, I've got this piece that I'm going to stamp on, and I've got this piece that I'm going to stamp on. And why do I have this piece here? I do not know. Oh, I do know. Yes, it goes inside here. because the way this card goes, there's no spot to write. This is not much space to write, and it's popped up on dimensionals. But if you open the card up, you can write on this part. So that's why we did that. Okay, now I remember. So this is not getting anything stamped on it. It's just getting adhered inside the card. There we go. So now, let's take this piece, and we're going to take this little guy. Got little bits of the backing from gems sticking to my fingers with static cling. So here we are. And this little kitty, we just want the heart and the head hanging in here. I do not want the feet, so I'm making sure the feet are outside the edge here, and if it's a problem, just tilt it a little bit and all shall be well. Okay, so there we go. Oh, I got a little something on the stamp there. That covers it up a bit. There we go. So that is this part. Clean this one off. And bring in this piece. This Stamparatus is going to need to be cleaned after all this stamping today. Now I need my kitty that's laying down. It's going to come in here, and I do want to take a moment because I want this to be in the middle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to center my scalloped cut on this piece, and so then I can tell where halfway is. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half is where I want my line to go. All right, and that matters because when I put my kitty on here, I want my line to go across where my score line is. All right? Oops. And here we are. Last one. And then I'm going to clean this off and put my sentiment on here. I could have done them together if I'd been proactive here. There. So I've got I love hanging out with you. Good enough. Okay, so we are just about done here. Thank you for sticking with me. You've been so patient. So here we go. So here is our kitty that's going on the front, and I'm going to apply the pearls. So I usually put the large pearl here at the bottom, a small one up on an angle, and the third one down here to make a triangle. Then I'm going to take my piece, and you can see how that line, because I was careful when I was stamping, that line is going to go right where the score line is there. So I'm going to put adhesive only on the bottom section here. There. Get that into place, centered hopefully. There we go. Then I've got this little guy. Now these little hearts are going to go on the inside here. So little dab of glue for the big heart. Still, even that, I did too much. So be careful, you don't need very much, okay? And I've got this medium heart. Which side did I put it on? On this side. So it's going to go right here. There. And then down here for the little heart. I think I did it more up and down. There we go. So there is that guy. Just try and wipe a little glue away there without getting ink on it. Okay, and now this piece is going to come across here and hold up our card. So I think I did, I don't know, this part you can adjust as you see fit basically, but I think I did about 1.25 inches up from the bottom. So about 1.25 inches up from the bottom and across, and that will make a nice little easel for your kitty. So that is the 6 cards for tonight. I will just pull them back in quickly for you to have another look. So we've got our easel card here, and we've got our black and white and yellow card. We've got our card with the picture this dies, and we've got another one in the red as well with this kitty. We've got our head over heels in the blushing bride, and then we've got our Hi There Valentine also with blushing bride. So you can't quite see them all. There's no way I can get them all in the camera at the moment because I've got my, maybe I can raise this up a bit. Does that help? Yeah, it does help a little bit. Okay. So, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the class tonight. I do plan on doing some more virtual classes, although I think the next couple, I'm going to try doing them via Zoom. And so you would have to pre-register to participate. I will be continuing, of course, with my regular Tuesday night Facebook Lives, excuse me. And this month, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using the Friendly Gnomes stamp set. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and as I hope you'll join me. It's always more fun with people here. Thanks, Tracy. I'm glad that you enjoyed the ones you got to see, and you'll have to post in Craft and Granny's Stampin' Friends when you're finished so we can all see what you've made. And take care, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of your evening, and get a good rest, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye now.